Struggling single dad saves twin girls from a frozen lake. 10 luxury SUVs arrive with a shocking twist. The wind sliced across the lake like glass. The February air was sharp enough to draw tears, but Jacob Wren didn't notice. His calloused hands were numb, his soaked gloves useless after hours of shoveling snow for neighbors just to scrape together a few dollars. His truck, rusted and wheezing at idle, sat at the edge of Cranberry Lake. Inside, his 8-year-old son Tyler sat bundled in his late mother's quilt, flipping through a tattered dinosaur book. 2 winters had passed since Emily lost her fight with cancer, and Jacob had been surviving for Tyler ever since. Single fatherhood wasn't what he planned, but plans meant little in the face of grief and empty bank accounts. He had just finished the last driveway and turned toward the frozen lake, ready to head home, when he heard it. 2 shrill screams. Panic. Urgency. He looked up and saw them. Twin girls, no older than 6, had fallen through the ice. Their pink coats thrashed against the black hole in the lake's surface. Jacob didn't hesitate. Dropping his shovel, he sprinted across the brittle ice, his only thought. They could be Tyler. "Hold on!" he shouted. Step, step, crack, and then the lake swallowed him whole. The cold crushed him instantly, stealing his breath, numbing his limbs. But he fought through, forcing his way toward the girls. One was barely above water, clinging to her sister. He grabbed their jackets and pushed with all he had, shoving them up onto the ice. And then, darkness. He woke to sirens and the sound of Tyler's voice, trembling. "Dad, wake up!" EMTs hovered, wrapping him in blankets. The girls were safe, huddled in their sobbing mother's embrace. At the hospital, Jacob lay in a hallway bed. No insurance, no fancy room, just survival. A nurse handed him a note from the girl's mother. No name, just heartfelt thanks and the warmest hug he'd ever received. 2 days later, Jacob was back to work, this time mopping floors at a hardware store. He still couldn't feel 3 fingers, but bills didn't care about frostbite. "Dad," Tyler whispered, tugging at his sleeve, "why are there so many cars outside?" Jacob stepped out. 10 gleaming black SUVs filled the parking lot, luxury vehicles with tinted windows and a presence that didn't belong in their small town. From the front car stepped a tall woman in a winter coat, flanked by the twin girls. Jacob's breath caught. "You saved my daughters," she said, tears in her eyes. "I'm just glad they're okay," he replied. She handed him an envelope. "You didn't just save them, you saved me, and I want to give something back." He tried to refuse, but she raised a hand. "Please, let me explain." SUV doors opened. Out stepped men and women in tailored suits, each carrying briefcases, documents, laptops. "We represent the Hadley Foundation," she said. "My late husband and I started it to honor acts of pure humanity. Every year we choose one person whose selflessness changed lives. This year it's you." Jacob blinked. "I don't understand." "You will," she said, smiling. "We're paying off your debts. You'll have a new home, a college fund for your son, and a job, if you'll take it, with our foundation, helping others who give like you did." Jacob was speechless. His knees buckled. Tyler slipped his hand into his. "Does this mean we don't have to sleep in the truck anymore?" The woman knelt beside him. "Sweetheart, you and your dad will never have to worry again." Months later, Jacob stood on a stage at the Hadley Gala in New York in a suit that wasn't borrowed. His speech was nervous but heartfelt. "I didn't do anything special," he said, voice trembling. "I just did what I hoped someone would do for my son." The audience rose in applause. Epilogue. That spring, as the lake thawed, a new sign was posted at the shore. Jacob's Crossing, in honor of the father who proved one act of courage can change everything. Etched beneath it, sometimes the richest hearts live in the humblest places.